everybody. Um, Welcome back to another day. So, I just want to say a few words about those infamous Epstein files. Because someone online was posting today that the Iran war is just a cover up to get us distracted and not thinking about the Epstein files. And I see this all the time. And then I see Democrats going, we gotta release them. And Republicans going, gotta release them. You know what, folks? I think it's done. I think they have been released. And that's it. I think there is no more files to be released. What we got was a nothing burger. I think some of it may even be a little questionable if it's actually real. Like, what was the story of George W. Bush sitting eating human flesh or something? I think there's a lot of stuff that's questionable and a lot of stuff that's a nothing burger, and that's it. I don't I don't think it's gonna be productive to keep asking for them. Now, let me clarify. I do not believe that we have all the files. I believe they've been destroyed, or they're not going to be released. I believe that the people who may have them aren't releasing them to whoever has the ability to share them with the news. I don't think the person holding on to the files, if they have not been destroyed, is going to say, okay, I'll give them to Tulsi Gabbard to do whatever, or I'll give them to this person to do whatever, or, okay, Trump, yeah, please release them. No, I don't think so. I think they are under lock and key, but I actually don't think they exist anymore. I think they exist much like the 9 minutes or so, or the 18 minutes on the Watergate tape. They're gone. I think they were destroyed. Like Hillary Clinton's emails. The servers were wiped clean. They're gone. What remains is just enough to whet our tongue to keep us interested, but I think the Epstein files are long gone. We will never see them, and it is a waste of time for us to keep asking for them. The incriminating evidence is destroyed. I really, really believe that because I don't think anyone knowing the evidence in there, and if they are in a powerful position, would risk everything to let them be eventually released. I think they would do everything, anything they can to hide those files. I think they would even destroy them, even if that's an illegal act. I think so, because you got to consider that the people who might be having their career destroyed from releasing the Epstein files have already done things above the law. So destroying files, what's that? That's not a big deal. No one's ever going to know about it. You just shred some papers one day at work. Nobody's going to know. So I think that's what has happened with the Epstein files. It is thus a waste of time for us to keep asking for them. The opportunity is gone. It's past. And the Democrats like to wave it around, but they will never release the files, even if they exist. Even if they exist, they'll never release them because there is too much incriminating evidence against Democrats, high position Democrats. So they're not going to release them. If they were going to, they would have done it already because we have seen that the Democrats will stop at nothing to bring down Trump. They don't care what they do anymore. So if you have this gold mine, why not release it? Why not release it 5 years ago or whatever? But they haven't because they can't. It would take them down along with Trump. Or it would take them down and not Trump. It's not worth it. But what they do is they keep talking about this. Oh, well, Trump's going to release it. Oh, he's protecting himself, yada, yada. I don't think he has access to the files, and I don't think he's seen them. I think they're gone. I don't think he can release them. I don't think he's in a position to just grab that USB and say, here we go, New York Times. I don't think he has them. I think he can just tell people what to do, but if they've been destroyed, they've been destroyed, and he won't know. So I think the Dems just like to use this as a talking point. Oh, well, look, he's a pedophile and you know it, but he's destroyed the evidence. Just so we continue to say he's a pedophile, which I don't believe is true. They just want to wave it in the air like, oh, he's guilty of a million crimes, just so we can say, oh, he's a criminal. That's it. It's just playing word games with us, waving those files around. Oh, well, he's in the files. It's just word games. They're trying to manipulate us. trying to make us believe that he's in the files. And I see some people go, oh, well, he's in the files. Well, it must be true. He's a pedophile. We have to impeach him. But I don't think there's any evidence there. And where he is in the files, it doesn't actually show that he's a pedophile. There's no evidence that he's a pedophile. Oh, well, he's mentioned a million times. Doesn't matter. It's in his favor. So the Democrats are just playing a game by saying we should release them and Trump is hiding behind them. I don't think that's the case. I think Trump has actually wanted to release them because I think he knows he's innocent, but there is no files to be released. As for us saying that he's using Iran as a distraction, no. Again, I think he would release them. He already has made that attempt. He's shown that he's wanted to. If there's people blocking him from doing it, well, we know that's a fact, that there are people in the White House who are blocking him and blocking his actions. It just got revealed in the news the other day that he hasn't been invited to meetings. So if anyone's trying to cover up things, I don't think it's him. I think it's others who are trying to cover their own neck. So I think the whole Epstein thing is done. It's old news. If there's anything to be revealed, we won't see it for a long time. It's like Watergate. It's like the Kennedy assassination. It's this generation's Kennedy assassination. It's the mystery that will go on and on and on. What is in those files? What was said? We can only guess. Our children will be guessing. It's done. I don't think it's a cover-up. I don't think there's anything there. I think they're gone. I think Trump has tried, and he just doesn't have the influence of the power. And yes, you can say, well, Trump is the most important person in government, but I don't think he's the most powerful in government. I don't think the President of the United States is even close to being the most powerful person in government. I think the people who are very powerful are ones who stay out of the news, except for Hillary Clinton, who likes to talk a lot. The rest are pawns. The rest are being used by folks who don't get elected. They're in government for a long time, and they have a very safe position. So this whole Epstein thing, I think, is done. I think it's done. It's as useful of a conversation as talking about Trump's third term in office. It won't happen. And we'll never see them, and it's this great mystery. And for those who say, well, we have seen things, and look, Bill Gates and Prince Philip was brought down, and a few others, yes, because I think they needed a fall guy. I think they needed a few people who could have something, and it looks like they're guilty, just to show that there is something happening. Bill Gates is so above everyone, nothing's going to happen to him. He could retire tomorrow. He will live comfortably for the rest of his life on some island in Europe. No one will ever touch him. You know, when you own Microsoft, you're untouchable. So I think he was a safe fall guy. He's a powerful person. A lot of people don't like him. His reputation has been tainted by his cow fart shit and wanting to block out the sun or whatever. So he was a person they could take down, but he actually wouldn't be taken down. He's immune, and he's almost at retirement age, if he isn't already. As for Prince Philip, I think he stepped on some people's toes. I also think he's a person that nobody really cares about. How many people really care about Prince Philip? Nobody. That's like caring about some nameless actor in some B-budget movie who isn't even in the IMDb listing other than as person number 1 in restaurant. But they said something. We don't really care. So I think Prince Philip was a fall guy, and he may have stepped on some people's toes so he can go down. The rest, it's a fall guy token. You know, we're going to offer all of you in the public Prince Philip, so then be happy. And we're not happy, but I think we should move on. I think it's done. It's sort of like when Al Franken left government. I believe he was a fall guy. I believe they took him down because there had been a lot of things happening with Democrats being accused and Republicans being accused of sexual harassment this and sexual harassment that, and it was Me Too, and it was all these things. And so I think the Dems needed to say, okay, someone's got to go down so we can show that we actually are, you know, not innocent. We're taking down our own, so you should should vote for us. And I think Al Franken was just a convenient person to take down. He wasn't big enough, he wasn't powerful enough, he wasn't a career politician, and they took him down just to show that they're the good party. I think that's what that was, and I think that's what we have here. And I think that's the end of it. We'll never see anyone go to jail. Nothing's going to happen. No one's going to be punished. That's it. We're done. Epstein is done. And to keep talking about it is like talking about what happened at Watergate. We will never truly know. But Dems will continue to throw it on our heads and say, oh, he's a pedo, he's a pedo. No. It's just they've been brainwashed and they just whatever. So that's just my thoughts on Epstein. I just wanted to clear the air and put out what I think, and that I ain't going to talk about him again until some huge revelation comes up, but I think it's done. I don't think it's a cover-up. I don't think it's a distraction. I think, whatever. I think if it's a distraction, it's the Dems pushing that around going, well, look at what Trump's doing to distract from the truth. Okay, then you guys release the documents. But they can't. There is no documents to be released. It's done. Like I said, they would have done it already. So that's all I wanted to say. It's just like, I get tired of these circle arguments. And at the end of the day, I think we're arguing over nothing, but maybe that's what our overlords want us. I think the distraction is not the Epstein files over the Iran war. It's us talking about the Epstein files instead of other things. And we're talking about governments that have been, we're talking about documents that have been destroyed and we'll never see. The distraction is just the conversation itself. That's the distraction. We're wasting time talking about that, thinking we're actually gaining ground when really we're not. We're all being played for a game. And quite honestly, the chess masters are on both sides of the aisle. No one's innocent. That's the way politics works. So that's all I wanted to say today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I know some of you may think I'm wrong or off my rocker, disagree, and I welcome you to put that into the comments. With that, I'm going to say thanks for hanging out. Be well.